pay a bill. I didn't pay 2 bills. Couple bills today. Anyway, first things first. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. I got my fan over here, out of the way. It's not in my way. And I am getting ready to embark upon an adventure. I have to go pick up a Connect system today because we're doing interactive technology with our new technology and our ILEG technology screens. Also, too, I had to pick up an Epson projector with the interactive pens and all that stuff, so I can show that off. Because I told you before that the technology, actually, in one of the applications I had to fill out for a loan, and this is a forgiveness-free loan. You don't have to pay the money back, which is fantastic. I don't owe anybody anything. But anyway, so this particular loan, you have to explain what your business is about. Again, I can't express this enough. When I tell people stop putting fake stuff in your products, it's not going to work. It's going to basically cause a backlash against you that is going to be unfreaking believable. So, you know, I bumped into people who have fake specifications, don't do testing, cut corners, anything to make a fast buck. The only problem is that your business can't go as far as it's going to go because, again, you lied in the beginning of it all. So it ain't going to go well. But anyway, yeah, we had to fill out the application. Pretty easy to do. And then I know these people at the end of the day, so it should be hopefully an easy process. And we had to put what the product is about, people that we're going to be employing, because yeah, I'm going to be employing people from my company, or future plans, which is the ad tech or future tech, what do you want to call it, technology, just to show them all those demonstrations and stuff like that. Same usual stuff that I do on YouTube anyway. It's the same thing. So on top of that, you know what I mean, we right now working with a patent attorney and all that stuff, because you know you got to protect your stuff, or somebody may try to print it out and steal it from you. So you got to make sure your stuff is protected, and you don't have to go through that crap at the end of the day. Anyway, so I got to finish that pipe system on there. I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff to finish that one section there. I had to get that done. I got to pipe and ice that section there. I'm gonna get that done today. As well. This one needs butterflies and giant bees. I gotta go pick those up. But anyway, yeah, so we got approval for one loan, we're getting approved for another loan, and this will allow me to get some of the stuff on one of my lists, like interactive technology, advanced version of projector mapping technology, new cameras, interactive projectors, utility tables and desks, camera equipment, stuff like that we're going to be getting for the company. Also, too, a bigger workplace, because that's what I'm hunting for right now, a bigger workplace to work in. So, office is nice. I freaking love it. It's big. It's roomy in here for work. But I need a place where I can operate a plasma torch, stuff like that, and I can bring my crew in and we can work. So, that'd be fantastic. So, that'd be great to have. And then on top of it, like I said, I'm planning for my company to generate jobs for my company. And again, like I said, you know, you can't have a business if you can't generate jobs. Because, you know, I want to be doing things by the book. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be generating jobs and stuff like that. And on top of that, we're going to be giving back to Allentown, putting more back into the community. All right, so the black screen paint we have, which you see in the video right there, thumbnail, that was done with a QME 2 720p projector. This model right here cost me roughly only 40 bucks on eBay, and I was able to produce that in a fully lit environment with no problem. Same projector we take outside to the Circle 2 projector and we do our demonstrations. That's all we need. And that screen paint, which I've had to show off at an advertising firm, and I'm pretty sure I got to show it off at a couple other places too, because again, like I said, we got companies that are going to be interested in the technology to convert their white projection screens over to black technology. Because again, white and grays don't read well. Fully lit environments and white and grays do not work when it comes down to everyday commercial environments. They just don't read in there at all, period. It just won't work at all. But anyway, so that's what we're going to have to do. Right now, I'm basically killing a little time here because I got to be out of here at roughly around 8:20. So getting this done, got other appointments I got to go to. So I'm on camera, got other places other than to be at. I got to be at 6 places today. 6 different places today for something I'm going to be working on, new projects. Warehouse shopping, definitely doing that. I got a forklift operator who's certified, who can train my other people at the end of the day how to operate a forklift, because we definitely need those. And on top of that, we already applied for our third loan. Got 2 of them already came up. We're going to get another one. And these are forgiveness loans, as I said before. Now, again, people want to start a business and you want extra money. A forgiveness loan is fantastic because you don't have to pay the money back. But make sure you use it for the loan. That's what you're going to be using it for. Be honest with God and use it for the loan. Some people get these things and use it for other things. Don't do that, please. But other than that, because it abuses the system, and it basically makes it impossible for people like me who really need the loan for business, that's why it makes it hard for other people. Just don't abuse the program. So this is going to allow me to get some major equipment, some major stuff that I need. Because I got this digital printer I'm picking up, not digital 3D printers, it's digital actually on paper. It's for making labels and all that stuff. Designing our own labels. That means there are stickers and all that stuff, so we don't have to go to another company. We can do it all ourselves. We can design the artwork here and boom, print it out all professional. Make all my labels for all my cans. I can do it myself. And the machine actually puts the adhesive on it and wraps the can with it. That is going to come in handy. We need one of those badly. So yeah, that's going to allow us to make our own labels and everything from there. What else? Basically, camera equipment. Yeah, I need some camera equipment. One of the cameras I need actually operates in direct sunlight. Definitely need one of those because that other stuff at the end of the day wreaks havoc on my cameras. That stuff right there. We need an upgrade version of 3D printing and not 3D printing, but not that. None of the 3D printers. I just can't use those things. The chemicals that come off them things are dangerous. I thought about buying one a long time ago. And when I read like what it gives off, I was like, oh heck no, I can't be near that. That thing will mess me up. No. But my buddy who has one, I can have him. He's contracted through our company to do all our 3D printed stuff. I mean, it's got a machine in there. He can literally print out a car, a frame of a car. He's got big boy machines in there. So his setup, like I said, all legit, all by the book, And he's the one I actually bought all that information to and said, hey, look, what do you think about this? And he's like, what the freak? Like, how in the world is he still running this? No one's reported this nonsense. At the end of the day, so, he's got so many violations in here, it's not even funny. There you go. So, yeah, so many violations. It's not even funny. That's from a person who has a professional business in 3D printing. So, yeah. But anyway, so we got all that done. So one of the screen paints actually was showing off the most is our black technology behind us. As for our jealous person on YouTube, you know who he is, who basically claims that the product for some strange reason comes up unwatchable, but yet everybody now in town, and all my other customers, matter of fact, my customers that are sitting outside with our black screen paint is reading better than what he's doing inside with the gray. Yeah, jealousy, man. 25 times. He called us, it's over 25 times. He called us roughly around almost 65 times. So everything added up was 65 times. Where do you get the time to call someone 65 times? That's pretty bad. That is really bad. That's sad. That's really sad. I don't even have time to call people twice. I really don't. If I call you one time, I leave a message, and that's it. I really don't have time. I really don't have the time. You'll have to reach back with me right away. Because my email account is not attached to my phone, which I haven't attached it yet. So I got to reach you when I get back in. So people contact me, and if you happen to catch me when I'm in, because I'm always out running around taking care of business, then you'll catch me. But other than that, I'm always out doing something. Anyway, so yeah, so that IOE, that black screen paint, it's going to be embedded on everything. We're going to have it in schools, we're going to have it in restaurants, we're going to have it in sports bars, but that stuff can operate anywhere it wants to go. I mean, pretty much in a fully environment on low-end projectors, and then tell them at the end of the day that, as I explained to them about the product, I explained to them that it's good for the school district up here, because again, they spend all this money for expensive projectors. This costs tax dollars a lot of money, which is going to come out of your pocket at the end of the day, and my pocket. So with the schools not needing to keep upgrading to these new machines over and over again, because one of the problems they have is they have to be in the dark all the time with these machines. That's one of the problems that I had when I was at the caring place. They had a daycare center down there for the kids. They didn't want them being in the dark because kids are mischief. They do crazy stuff. And so we need something that can keep the lights on. That's where that screen was being displayed. It was in a daycare area in that building. So it shows that our technology can operate in those fully lit environments. Office use. I'm in an office myself. One of the things, a white screen in here wouldn't stand a chance in here at all, period. I forgot I got to order that other white screen to put the splatter effect on it. Wouldn't stand a chance in here. Gray screen, it's not functioning in this environment. So how do we get a screen to function in here? Only our technology can read in here, and we don't require expensive high-end projectors to do it. So that's automatically a sell right there. If anybody walks in here, it's automatically a sale. It comes in from an office. So that converts all the screens. So you got 60 to 100 to 200 screens in a building, and you're converting all that over to black technology. What's another thing too? Like I said, schools upgrading their projection screens. What else? Movie theaters, outdoor dedicated theater setups. They want to do these big screens. There's a program to do these big screens all around town. Guess who's getting the contract? It'll be us getting that contract. Our technology can read outside with no problem. Drive-in movie theaters, all those screens upgraded to that screen paint, black technology. Yep. Because instead of you basically getting revenue at between, you're lucky if you get it between 7, but most likely it'd be 8, 9, 10, and the last movie would be at 12. That's all they get for their revenue. The technology we have, you hit that thing with one of those projectors at the end of the day, you can operate at 4 easily. We got an Optima GT 5500 to operate outside at 457 outside. Got it dated outside on ultra short throw easy. Ultra short throw is a cakewalk. So again, like I said, since we don't require high-end projectors, our screens generate a ton of gain at the end of the day. Yeah, they'll make revenue. They'll start making revenue probably roughly, it'll probably be at, for them, it'll probably be like 5, 6, 7. So they make 3 hours of extra revenue back to their business. And that's the business proposal on why we're getting loans. Because we can come in and say, hey, look, we got a technology that at the end of the day, you don't have to spend all this money for all these expensive projectors to get a white screen to work. We can convert all your white screens into this technology, and you have to prove this. Someone has to come in, they have to actually see it. A video will not work for you. So they have to be to see this. Eyes to eyes have to be to see it. We have, our technology allows you to paint the ceilings, allows you to paint the floors. It works with interactive technology, projector mapping technology, all that stuff. Very important. So this puts our screen paint on the map. So this paves the way. ILEG, the Ultimate Black Cinematic, will pave the way for the new technology, new black screen paint we're working on next. But anyway, so yeah, with our company, we have free shipping. And we have free LED lights. That comes with free LED lights and free shipping. Everybody else, surcharge fee, surcharge fee, surcharge fee, surcharge fee, surcharge fee. How many people giving you free shipping overseas? They're not paying for the overseas shipping. We pay for overseas shipping. I've never charged a customer ever, never, for a surcharge fee. For what? That's crazy. First of all, they got to pay for it through customs, and customs is expensive as it is. Then you got to pay an additional $70 or $80 for a surcharge fee. No, we ain't not doing that. No, that's too much. And then we give you free stuff. I've always given free stuff to customers: free paint sprayers, free LED lights, free blackout cloths. At one point, we actually built our own frames. We designed our own wooden frames that you can snap and put together, and we're actually giving away free frames to our customers. So we give out free stuff all the time. So this system comes with free LED lights. It comes with these babies over here. Those are the free LED lights that come with it. I love those rope lights so much. I got them in blue right now because I got them running for my we got them running for our PC back here we're working on. But other than that, yeah, they kind of change colors as you talk. I'm actually going to get another set for the desk. That's what I want to do. But they come free. So I think that's about 16 feet of LED lights for free for our customers. What we got here for time? We got 8:04, almost time to go out the door at 8:04. I got to pick up a Connect unit today. This is really fun. Got a Connect unit, and I paid $65 for a open box Epson projector that has all the hookups in it. It has the software, it has the interactive pens, because we're going to be showing pretty soon the ability to be to draw and write on screens with the new setup. Yes, giving customer. See, that's the thing at the end of the day. Instead of, ripping off companies, the technology or engineering is to build companies. Like the ad tech has the capability to allow companies to bring the storefront windows to life. And then that technology can be integrated inside to bring menus and display screens. Expensive LED TVs, again, at the end of the day, too costly, too much money. And this gives companies a chance to be able to grow on a different level. The new technology we're developing for expos allows people to take their goods to an expo. The new projection table we're working on to bring their items to that next level. That way it cuts down on brochures. Brochures get expensive. And if your table's doing all the advertising, guess what that cuts down on? The brochures. But a QR code that pops up, they can scan it right off their cell phone, and you're done. That's it. Right there. right there. Those tables that they have for your advertising at the expo, those tables with the customized company's logo or name on it, the tables can cost you $800, $600 to $800. That's what it'll cost you. It'll cost our customers far less for that. And on top of that, it's a moving commercial on your table, and it operates on that projector right there. So instead of you lugging around these big heavy projectors, you can use one of those right there. Now, we did that. I want to do a demonstration when I get to an expo. I want to do one with one of the stand-up screens, which we did over there, the portrait mode screen, and I want to do another one with my website up here. There we go. I want to bring another one over with our I've got my logo and everything down to bring it up a little bit. Powered by God's technology. Yeah, so I'm going to bring one up standing and one actually a wraparound screen we're going to do with the projector mapping application. So this is going to allow them and this company, and even the people are doing it, to bring my company to its next level. And again, like I said, we got plans for our company. We got plans to basically start food drives and build better living quarters for people at the end of the day. And my company is basically about doing something with the community, helping the community, building the community up, not stealing from the community. And people don't get that part. One person doesn't get that, understand that part. You're stealing. Can't do that, man. Can't do that. And then say blessed. I still can't believe that he said that. Unbelievable. That's kind of, I'm a Christian. That's a disrespect toward me, man. That's a disrespect to me. Blessed. That's like hearing a preacher curse in church. You're like, what in the world? What the heck is going on in here? Yeah, it's like that. You can't get no blessed. God can't bless that. No way in the world he can't bless that. And people are doing wrong things, and you don't sit there and say God's blessing you. God is not blessing you. He don't hear you. When you sit there and curse and talk about the Lord at the same time, he is not hearing this. God can't be around anything evil. He can't. He can't be around anything evil. He doesn't support anything evil in any way whatsoever. That is not blessed. That is cursed. That's a curse. If it was a blessing means God gives you a blessing. You can go anywhere you want with that blessing. You can. You can go anywhere you want with that blessing. Anywhere you want. You can go anywhere. God gives you a blessing. You can go anywhere you want with that blessing. Anywhere, because you represent God. God's going to give you a blessing to be ashamed of, to be embarrassed of. He's not going to give you anything like that. What would he do? Would I be following if he gives me a blessing that I'm ashamed to talk about it? No. God gives you a blessing. You need to shout it out to the world. Who you represent, who you support, who supports you. You need to put that out there. But if you can't do that, if you're afraid to put that out there and you can't do that because you know that something bad will happen to you, you don't have a blessing. You have a satanic Satan curse. That's what you have. You have a gift from the devil. And the devil does give gifts. You know that? They're not the kind you want at the end of the day, but he does give gifts. And they're not, like I said, not the kind you want. You have a satanic gift. That's what you have. I say curse. It's either all in there. Because you can't announce it to the world. Can't go out there. No. I can go to Nintendo, any one of these companies, say, hey, look, we're developing this screen page. We'd like to develop something for your company, blah, blah, blah. I would ask for permission. I got to ask for permission. Just like I want to do these NFL screens, colored screens we want to do. I can't just go up there and put freaking Eagles and Broncos and freaking Cowboys and all that stuff. You know, I'll get sued. I'll be in a lot of trouble for that. I can't do that. I got to ask for permission. I got to find someone and say, hey, look, got this idea I want to pitch to you. I think it'll be fantastic to have these in man caves at the end of the day. Color screens that match the screens of the person who supports that team. Now, if they like it at the end of the day, like, okay, we like this idea, Mr. Bird. This is what we're going to do. We're going to give you permission to use our logos on your stuff, but here's the deal. We got to get a percentage of that. They got to get paid. What business would they be in? What kind of business would they be running? They wouldn't even be in business if they gave away their stuff. They got to get paid. We need a percentage. And this is where the negotiation comes in between us and our attorneys about where is the sweet spot. And we're going to make this money, and they're going to make their money. Everybody's happy. We got to come in with that sweet spot. Once we hit that sweet spot, negotiations back and forth. They got their rules and regulations. We got our rules and regulations. Like, they don't want us to put their products on anything that may slander their product, like no pornography, animal abuse, stuff like that. It's having in my contracts automatically for beta testers. If you're doing any kind of videos and stuff like that, there's certain stuff you can't show. This will slam you a $50,000 fine. So yeah, we have stuff in there. If you basically go in and you trade products for something, that's a $50,000 fine. Can't do that. So there's rules and regulations we have in beta tester contracts. As somebody thought in the day that, I'll just apply for his stuff, ask for it, and I'll just basically do what I want to do. No, he got a contract. He read through that contract. He's like, oh shoot. I said, yeah, you mess up on any of these guidelines in here, you sign that, you take it to court, bam, you owe us 50 grand. Yeah, don't mess around with them contracts. That's what I said the other day. If you're sincere and you really want to do this, then you will do this. But if you want to play games at the end of the day, this will cost you 50 grand out of your pocket. And you don't have to pay it. And people sit there and say, all the time, I get this from people all the time. They sit there and say, well, I don't have the money, I won't ever pay it. Oh, yeah, they got something called execution of judgment, which means they take your little piece of paper from the judge, they take it upstairs, and they give it to a debt collector. And that debt collector files all this stuff at the end of the day, all your information, blah, blah, blah. They find out where you get paid at, your payroll, all that stuff pops up. Your income tax, all that stuff reads on there. And then they contact a debt collector in your neck of the woods. Those people will come see you. And sheriffs come with them too. The sheriffs will come with them because they're there to repo your stuff. And what you owe to freeze your banking accounts, whatever they got to do to get that 50 grand out of you. Or whatever they're going to sue you for. A lot of people don't know about that. People get judgments and they realize they don't understand about the execution of judgment. And they basically let it sit like, well, I'm never going to get paid off this. And this person's lacking, probably getting you like $1 a day and messing around and probably not paying you. And you'll take them to court and this nonsense will go on. No. Skip that nonsense. Go up and execute judgment on your claim. That's what you do. That's what you have to do. Because going back to court ain't going to be jack. It's going to be the same nonsense that costs you more money. Argue with this person. No, you nip it in the butt. Execute judgment. Get a debt collector on them. Once you get a debt collector on them, they'll come to that property and take what they got to take. That's how it works. Freeze banking accounts, all that stuff. Lock it all down. That's how you get your money out. Yep. So you're sitting there trying to figure out how to get your money. You liquidate. Gotta get a debt collector on. So you get your stuff. Whew. And for people at the end of the day, they're mad about saying, well, why you took? Because don't go out and do things you shouldn't be doing. We're in the decade of the Karens. We are in the decade of the Karens. These are the people that will do dumb stuff and then get mad at you for telling people how to correct the problem of dealing with somebody who did dumb stuff to you, and they'll act like they're the victim. No. You made them the victim because you did something stupid that made them the victim, and that's why you got sued to begin with. And then you don't even want to pay them. You did the wrong and don't want to pay them. So I show them at the end of the day how to execute judgment on your behind. And you will pay them. Because they'll come out to the house and take your stuff from you. That's what they'll do. And they'll take all your property, take it down to an auction, or somebody at the end of the day will come in there and buy your stuff for cheap. So you pay up the rest of that money. And then when you don't pay the rest of that money, that's what they do. They go into your paycheck. They go to your payroll. And you look up on your check, you'll see the debt collector's name that'll pop up and say, hey, you owe this amount of money, and this is what we're going to take out of you on your check. So you're technically working for them. When your income tax comes up, you don't get it. Guess what? They got it first from you because you owe that money. Got any insurance laying around? They're going to take that too. Got death insurance? That's definitely going to. It's all going to go. So, just don't get in trouble and get sued. That's why I sit there and tell people at the end of the day that we catch you on YouTube and you're making videos about my company that are not true. We get your location at the end of the day, which we will. We're going to sue you. We know at the end of the day that what's going to happen to you because we'll execute judgment on your behind. And you got a $250,000 lawsuit in your face and you got to execute a judgment over the top of your head. How you going to get around something like that? You can't. They'll come right to your door. Sheriff's department, repo, the whole 9 yards. Truck, flatbeds, everything. Take all your stuff. And if you got to do your banking account, they'll freeze all your banking accounts, credit cards, all that stuff. They'll lock you out. That's why you don't want to get sued. So I'm thinking at the end of the day, people like saying, well, they won't find me. Yeah, we've heard that one before. Remember how that ended up? Yeah, there we go. Don't take the risk. Why do you want to take the risk and do something stupid? Common sense. But anyway, that's why I don't mess with these big companies that way. I take them at their stuff. When I do testing against their stuff, I do everything by the book. Then they can't say, well, Mr. Bird, you did this, you reversed the screen, or he had it bent a little bit so the screen would go darker, or he did something to manipulate the image or painted something on it. It can't get me on that. Because I did everything by the book. Now, if they sit there and say at the end of the day, well, we use 4K projectors. Mr. Burton uses a 4K projector. This would hurt them really bad. Because if I'm using a projector that's lower than a 4K and I'm beating their screen, my screen's not having an issue, this is going to make their product look bad. Because I can easily come and say, well, your screens require more expensive machines. Mine don't. This would hurt them. They don't want that. Because then people will buy from me knowing that they don't spend 4K, $3,000 or $4,000 for a projector because we could do it for far cheaper. Better not to say anything at all. That'll damage you. Where Diamond messed up. Diamond reached out to us. That was the biggest mistake Diamond could have ever did, was reach out to our company. Because now we have it in document form showing that they reached out to us requiring about our technology, asking at the end of the day that our products had potential. They should have really just never interacted with us at all, period, but they did. You know why? I was testing against one of their screens. I actually matched the screen. It took me 2 weeks to do it. 2 weeks giving to match the Black Diamond 1.4. And they were watching me. And this is another thing too. I didn't know companies watch you like that. Not the big companies. I never thought they paid anybody any mind. Only people at their own level. But I realized that when someone called me at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I thought it was my buddy playing jokes on me, because he's a joke shredder from time to time, and it was actually them. So that's why now we got that little piece of document, because again, thinking that was him trolling me, I said, do me a favor. If you are who you say you are, send me an email with your watermark on it. And that's what came up. Whoop, it was them. So when they sat there and said my product had potential. See, Jamie, that's the thing. I've dealt with big companies. I've dealt with big companies. I've seen their stuff. They know what their stuff does. They know what we're all about. You, on the other hand, are a person who's sitting in an apartment who thinks you're an expert in projection, and you are not. You don't know anything about the field of projection at all, period. You haven't had enough machines. You haven't built enough screens. You haven't had more outdoor experience. You haven't done any of that stuff, man. You don't really know your stuff. You don't test your stuff. You don't really know your stuff. So we got companies that vouch for us on that level. What does it say about you? Did you ever get any recommendations? No, you haven't. That says a lot at the end of the day of what we do in between what you do. How much stuff have you developed? I've developed gray screens, gunmetal screens, silver screens, different color screens, black technology, gunmetal. We've done all that stuff. So we have more experience, and way more experience than you. But anyway, they contacted us, and then after contacting us, they wanted me to send down a quart of that stuff we're working on for them to try it out. And I'm like, no, I need an NDA. I need a non-disclosure agreement. I need an NDA that, bottom line, basically protects us in case anyone decides to take our stuff. So it's a way to protect your company. If you don't have any paperwork or anything for something, like documents or whatever, it's a way, or like any copyrights or patents. And the NDA clearly states that these are the only parties that are allowed around that screen. And if any one of these individuals leak any information out, they can be sued for millions of dollars. That's what NDAs do, they protect you. And they couldn't get us one. And I said, why can't you get one? I'm pretty sure a big company like you've got to have your own legal team, which they did. They wanted to give us the runaround on it. So I said, fine, I don't really bother with it, because I already know from the door you're going to try to take advantage of me at the end of the day. That's not going to happen. Bye. That started that whole entire thing between me and Diamond. And then Diamond turned around and stick the lawyer on us. That's what we got the document from the lawyer. And the lawyer told us at the end of the day some dumb nonsense. I didn't even read through half that thing. I probably didn't read through it now. Told us some dumb nonsense of this, that, and the other, and we couldn't do any more demonstrations against their screens. We didn't pull down any of our videos. It's in the documents. We didn't pull down our video demonstrations, that at the end of the day they're going to sue us for $150,000 and all that stuff. So this is the part that gets me. If you felt that we were doing and slandering your product, why didn't you send us that to begin with? That's where they messed up. Because it shows at the end of the day, they wanted the product. And if you, at Screen Innovation, if you're hearing this, if you sit there and say it's not true, well, I got the documents. The documents clearly state that you sent us an email telling us that our product had potential, that you wanted to finish the discussion. That doesn't sound like a person who's going to sue somebody for basically slandering the product. You sent that afterwards when things didn't work out. That's why today, as I said, every form of technology we have in here is designed to take out a black diamond. And that new technology that operates outside, pfft, yeah, right. Ain't nothing standing against that thing at the end of the day. So yeah. Yes, sirree. Now I get people saying, well, that's not true, Mr. Barrett. Remember what I said the other day. I don't say things I can't back up. I've made that statement multiple times. I never say things I can't back up. If I made a statement like that and that wasn't true, That means Screen Innovation could easily come in and slam you with a lawsuit by saying, hey, you went out and you said things on a YouTube that wasn't true. That's true. Defamation. Say they never sent me an email. See, I made all this up and none of this is even true. Excuse me. Got them allergy seasons kicking in. I'm about to get mine pretty soon. Alright, going through it right now. So, yeah, you don't send someone and tell them you want to talk with them. That's like me saying, Jamie, slander our stuff and go, hey, I think your stuff has potential. Let's talk about this. That doesn't sound like a very angry person. So if we ever pop up in court ever again, or anything pops up in court saying about this, that, and the other, we got a email from you basically telling us that our product had potential. So yeah, that doesn't really sound like somebody who's upset. Just that email, but the lawyer is about somebody who didn't get their way. That's what. See, the other thing about it, do I hate Diamond for this? No, I don't hate anybody at all, period. Like I said, I don't get double opportunity for that nonsense. I don't like what they did. I don't like how they handled it business-wise. I do respect this technology because I'm the person that I don't have to be like Jamie. People have to understand that you don't have to be that way. You can not like what somebody does, but you can still respect what they do. He can't do that. He's a child. He can't separate those two. He just hates. I can see two different sides. I respect the technology because the technology allowed us to be able to go into darker technology. So I respect it. It's a technology I've never seen before. Amazing product. But I didn't like the person on how he handled that situation, but I do respect the work. Jamie can't do that. Jamie hates the person. Jamie hates the work. Jamie hates everything. That's what Jamie does. That's just kind of sad. It's childlike material. Let me see. I'm going to just scroll down. We'll bump right into it. We got a lot of stuff on here. But yeah, that's what he does. Like I sat there and said, I've seen his printed work. He has amazing painting skills. Amazing painting skills. But he used them in the wrong way. Everybody gets a blessing from God. Everybody has a blessing. Believe it or not, you have a blessing. He's an amazing painter. He could put that somewhere else. He could have made his own character. 3D print, he could have made his own characters at the end of the day. Made his own little mascot guys at the end of the day. Could have easily did that. Jamie is filled with so much hatred. He blocks his blessings. That's what he did. He blocked and destroyed his blessings. The devil will sit there and watch God hand out blessings to people. And he'll sit there and figure out, how do I turn this against them? How do I make this about me? That's what he does. And what did he do? Jamie went out and committed counterfeiting. Yeah, he should have never did that, man. He could have did something with that. Now, to put a perspective view on this, say Jamie goes out and he does the right thing, right? Say he goes out and he makes some kind of mascot or whatever. It takes off. People like it. People are buying it. He's doing a fantastic job. He's making good money. Got a nice company. Everything's going well for him. And then all of a sudden, somebody pops up that's copying his mascot. Somebody is 3D printing his mascot. Even though he has a trademark, even though he has a copyright, he has patents on it, someone is still taking that and making money, and they're not paying him any money at all. He had to work hard to get that mascot. He had to work hard to get the advertising and get it on YouTube, upload the videos. All that stuff takes work. So now you got somebody who's just piggybacking off your hard work and taking your items and selling them, and they're not even giving you any of the money whatsoever. Doesn't make a difference if you're making good money. It's your money. It belongs to you. See, Jamie, that's what you did to companies. That's the best way to put it. Some people don't understand it when you have to talk to them about it, but that's the best way to put it. Here it is right here. Boom! So, for those you don't know, yeah, we had a little run-in with Diamond way back. And it's interesting because the timeline in all of this is interesting due to the fact that this is right around the time we were getting out of one company into another company, because we had an issue with a company trying to take my company. They came in, gave me a contract and all that, and they tried to take my business from me. They were slowly changing over my company's name to their name and saying, hey, we're just doing it because, it's European and we have to do it differently over here. We need to change the logo and all that stuff. And as I'm slowly watching this, they're slowly trying to take my company from me. So then they start reaching out to me, and they try to block us altogether. I figured they probably got everything they wanted from us. So what I did was I actually destroyed my company, Digital and Crystal Screen Paint. I actually developed this technology on the digital 4K Crystal Onyx instead of working on a black technology to beat the other gray technology. And I got all my beta testers to come in and do demonstrations showing the massive difference between, this is going on for a long time, Jamie, before you, the massive difference of why the black technology was far more superior than the gray. You know what's interesting about that, what I just said, Jamie? You go online and you do these demonstrations and you say that gray screens are better than black screens. That's what you say, right? And long before you were ever heard of, I was fighting a battle where I developed gray screen products way better than yours. I was contracted. And through that, I was able to develop black technology better than the gray screen. Used my beta testers to do the side-by-side demonstrations and made the gray screen absolutely worthless. Which means his investors were pulling out because they wanted the black technology. This is where they try to take me to court. See, God works everything out. If I had signed my name on that contract, he would have had everything I ever developed. But because I signed Digital and Crystal Screen Paint on it, he was only entitled to Digital and Crystal Screen Paint, which means he was not entitled to Digital 4K Crystal Onyx under the black technology. And the black technology slowly was developed because it started off to be gunmetal first because of diamond. Because what we saw in Diamond's technology, taking out all our screens, we said, oh shoot, we're going to have to develop darker technology. We're going to be to compete with something like this. So that's where we started engineering the darker technology. And that darker technology allowed us to be to develop a technology better than the Digital Crystal Screen Paint, which is the gray, which allowed us to be the obsolete, get rid of the company, get out of a 10-year contract at the same time. See, that's what I said. You don't know business, man. You don't know business. If you were stuck, if these people came to you, you would have been done. Because again, you can't develop anything new. There we go, right there. Boom. This is the guy from Black Diamond having a conversation with me. Actually, the guy you actually see with the gray hair and, you know, look, that has the kind of like stylish hair. That's him. He's the one that contacted me. Yeah, good morning. Sorry to woke you. Yeah, he woke me up. I thought it was actually my buddy playing jokes. As I stated, we are interested in looking at your product. It seems. I got this thing over here on the side. Oh, wrong mouse. We're going to have to have that there. Yeah, we're going to have to have it there. Well, all right, we just move the paper over there. All right, let me see where we're at. Here's the bottom number right there. Bum, 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 bum. It seems to have potential. Yeah, and mind you, Jamie, who would know more about projection screens? Would it be you or would it be SI screens? I think it'd be SI screens would have more experience in the field than you. All right, then. So anyway, let me know when you are ready. Let me know when you're ready to continue the discussion. And I asked them to send me the watermark. There's the watermark. There's the information, who they are. And there's the date right there. So, with that being said, Fernando, our technology is literally so advanced that even Screen Invasion itself contacted us on our technology. But you're the one screaming on camera that we're a scam at the end of the day. And yet, no company recognizes you. I even met the guy from Seymour AV. Yep, I got an NDA through them. But you didn't get anything to anybody, did you? I met most of these people develop these screens. So mind you, back in 2016, we were developing technology that was so advanced that even Diamond themselves were actually said our product had potential. So, after that didn't work out, because again, like I said, I needed an NDA, very important, right there. They decided to go get an attorney to shut us up because they didn't want us doing any more demonstrations against their screen because they felt at the end of the day that our screen was considered to be a threat. There's the lawyer right there that contacted us. Now, that's the part that gets me at the end of the day. Why in the world would you unleash attorney on me knowing we just had a conversation about the product? And if that was the case, if you felt that I was basically in the wrong, this should have been the first document that should have came to us. Not saying we had potential and you weren't interested in talking. So, because of this little nonsense that went on, like I said, I respect the technology, I do, but all my technology is engineered to take out Diamond. It's not for you, Jamie. It never was for you. You just decided to jump up and went in my line of traffic, and I just said, what the heck is this joker doing in my way? You try to compete with us. We compete with companies like this. This is what we do. Our technology is on that level to compete with companies like this. You're not. You just felt the need to jump up in the middle of the road, like people get in front of a tractor trailer with a small car and they stop short. Yeah, what happens to that? Get your vehicle crushed. That's what happens to you. This is what our technology is aimed at. It has nothing to do with you. All this went on before we even knew you. And you came on to, oh, no, it has nothing to do. Our stuff can easily crush you with no problem. I can crush your stuff any day of the week. I can make your product if I want to. I'm an expert in gray screen paints. I was making that stuff before you even had your product. I know different versions of gray screen paint that I had to make. My stuff was contracted. I can show pictures of my stuff overseas in boardrooms with investors and all that stuff. Your stuff never reached that plateau before. My product was selling far more than what your stuff was selling now. So with that being said, that having a company like these big companies come in and recognize me at that time in that era, that tells me the advancement level we were sitting on. So my technology isn't for you. It never was for you. It's not for anybody else. All our stuff is strictly developed for the high-grade screens. And number one, diamond technology. That's what we engineer our stuff to take out. Diamond technology. So that new black screen we have, the one outside it can generate outside at 300 to 50 lumens, they're designed to take out diamonds. There's no diamond screen that can even come even close to that. Now, the one thing I like about this guy in the day, I like he constantly develops new technology. That's what I like about him. Everybody else, they get lazy with their technology and they don't develop anything new. The Elite Darkstar 9, that's been around forever. It's an old screen, all the other screens are old, but he's constantly evolving into new technology. He's the only one that has a black screen. Now, am I terrified? No, we invented black technology. Why would I be bothered by that? But I do appreciate the fact that now it's gone full circle. Because mind you, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the black technology. I never even seen a screen like this before. I was doing screens I saw were all gray. I didn't know there was anything more superior than gray. So the first time I laid eyes on it, I thought, wow, it's like having a little TV in your hand. It was amazing technology. So that changed us, and that allowed us to be evolved into something darker technology. Now, in that time, the black diamond was called black diamond because it was a dark gray screen. If Jamie knows anything about history, which he doesn't, dark gray screens were considered to be black because there were no other actual black screens. So they call them black screens. That's why if you look at paint on screens, it says black. But it's not, it's gray. But that's what the term was at that time. Then when black screens came out, you can't call them black anymore. They start calling them charcoal or gunmetal gray. That's what they were transferred to, but mostly charcoal. All right, so bottom line is, on that being said, the black diamond was considered to be a black screen because it was a very dark gray screen. Now, looking upon this thing, realizing it wasn't black, but in the videos, it did look black to me. But now I want a black screen because that's the type of person I am. I'm the type of person that once I see something and I set my mind to it, I want that thing. I want that. So I wanted a black screen. So that's what I did. I engineered. We're blessed to have a black screen under the digital 4K Crystal Onyx, the first black projection screen. We got a timestamp. We got it first before anybody else. And at that time, Diamond didn't have a black screen yet. Now, Diamond, probably watching us, has a black screen. You see the interesting thing about that, Jamie? Companies actually build with each other. Even though we might not even like each other, even though we might not communicate with each other, we still learn from each other. We learn from each other. Instead of tearing each other down, we learn from each other. My stuff is to engineer better than Black Diamond. That's what I engineer my stuff to do. But at the end of the day, Black Diamond's technology is responsible for our technology going to that next platform, because if I had never had that screen, I would have continued to make great screen paint, because I really believe that great screen paint was the most superior paint. So with that being said, seeing that change, like, wow, that's incredible. We got to upgrade. And he's probably looking at it like, wow, that's freaking crazy. We got to upgrade. See how that works? Instead of putting out slandering like you do, like putting out memes on people and basically doxing people's addresses, that's not a business, Jamie, at all, period. and going out and basically touching people's copyrighted material and touching their trademarks and their patents and sending out death threats. Does that sound like a businessman to you? No, it doesn't. Sounds like a thug. That's what you are. You don't have a business at all, period. I don't know what you would call that. So you don't run a business, man, at all, period. You never had a business at all, period. Man, unbelievable. That's how companies look at each other and go, oh, Elite Screens might look at something that Diamond may have and go, oh, that's pretty interesting. As long as they don't actually copy the actual works, but bottom line at the end of the day, develop something better than maybe what they have. I think Elite Screen has their own gain. It's something called CRT, something ceiling electric projection, whatever. I tested it before. It's actually pretty good. It actually does work. But anyway, yeah. There you go right there. So right there, Fernando. So, you know, you sit there and say at the end of the day that, oh, his products are fake. Yeah, who would have more knowledge on projection screens? Would that be you or Screen Innovation? Who would have more? I think it would be Screen Innovation. All right, there you go. So that just tells people from the door that when I had that one customer who got nasty with me, he got very nasty with me, and then turned around and said, you know what, I don't want your products. I'm just going to go out and I'm going to buy me a, you know, Black Diamond screen. He came back and showed me the receipt. This could have been your $20,000. First thing, it wouldn't have been my 20 grand. We don't charge $20,000 for a screen. I don't know what the heck we'd be charging for 20 grand. So that would mean no. And he says, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Here, I got some literature for you to read. You read that, man? He contacted me back the next day talking about, well, you know, I had a bad day, you know, and things weren't working out. I'm really interested in that paint, you know, you got over there and so forth. No, we're not interested with you. Enjoy your screen. Enjoy your $20,000. So, Fernando, at the end of the day, my technology I have here that I engineer is more advanced than any screen because we tested this by every company we could literally get our hands on. Heck, I even had a screen come in from Ireland, which was called Smarter Surfaces, tested them too and beat their screen. So that means that technology I have over there is worth a lot of money because what it can do. I can go to any form site that I want and they have all their screens and take their screens out with no problem. You can't do that. A Diamond would rip your screen up. And I know I tested it. I did a 50 lumen projector test on his screen paint body in the garage, and a Diamond ripped them up. You can't compete with that. And if you could compete with a Diamond, you would have tons of demonstrations first. And they would have contacted you right away. They don't play around with them today. Their attorneys will reach out to you. So, they know what I'm all about. They know what I do. And I'm pretty sure they saw that screen outside. And probably thinking, Jeebus Louise, this guy is outside now. And he's using 50 lumen. Yeah, that's a big shaker for them because I know their black screen that they have, that concept, I think what it's called. That screen requires an 8,000 lumen projector to kick. 8,000. Do you have any idea what 8,000 lumen projectors are? You can't operate that in your home. That thing will burn out your freaking, what do you call it, your electric box. It'll burn it out. It'll overload your stuff. That's commercial projectors. They're commercial. You have any idea what happened if you walked in front of 8,000 lumens? Man, your retinas would freaking turn white. You'd be in there looking like freaking Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, no way in the world you're walking in front of that. That is basically designed for commercial. It's a commercial machine at the end of the day. That's a setup they have where they raise the screen up high. Usually when you use an 8,000 lumen projector, either two things are happening. They then shift it in if it's dropped a little lower, but you don't want people's heads bouncing off the back of this thing. So they raise the screen up high where the projector's at. That's where they hit it. That way you can look up to this giant screen off the ground. It's above the level where your heads will be moving back and forth. They're really super tall, but they got it up high enough so if anyone's walking around, it doesn't bounce and hit the screen. But anyway, yeah, 8,000. I was like, 8,000? What the freak? I was like, how much money an 8,000 lumen projector is? Yeah, you know, it's designed more for companies. There you go. I got theories why it's 8,000. Projection screens that require massive amount of lumens on that scale is because it can be white level issues. Because that's the only way. It's white level issues. That's what Jamie tried to accuse it of. Oh, the reason why he uses such high-end projectors because it doesn't put white levels. You just pick and choose as you go along, don't you? Do you have any idea how many projectors I had in my collection? Over 70 projectors in my collection. Everything from Picos to regular theater projectors and venues. I had everything in there. Matter of fact, one of the tests the screens had to go through, they had to get past Old Faithful outside at 13 feet back in order to get a label. But he just skipped all that. Oh, he has high power projectors. Yeah. I don't sit in the dark with a 4K projector, calibrated machine, and then sit there and say that I'm not using smoke and mirrors. The whole setup is a smoke and mirrors. Everything in there is smoke and mirrors. Dark environments, ultra short throw projectors to kill on the distance throw, 4K machine at the end of the day to pick up higher resolutions on the gray screen, 2 million to 1 contrast with a 1.7 billion color set of capability, which you can't even read correctly because again it can't pick up the dark colors. It doesn't operate in fully lit environments, even though the projection screen is projector designed for that. If you look at the promo demonstration on the P2, I've never seen anyone match it yet. Yet we beat their promo demonstration. I beat the promo demonstration for the P1, P2, Ultimate GT 55 and 56 by taking my projector outside, producing a 148-inch screen. I was able to display outside at 457. So I beat the promo demonstration. All of them. On their older projector. Man, tell me that's not impressive. Tell me that's not impressive. Now, I got to go take care of my business. I actually killed more time than I needed, but I'm good at the end of the day. I got my Bluetooth speaker. Just picked it up today. I'm so happy about this. Got it for 20 bucks. I'm going to try to spend a lot of money for something. I don't. I'm going to try to put And I'm going to go ahead and listen to some Frank Sinatra. Because you know who the man is at the end of the day? Frank Sinatra is the man. You don't know Frank Sinatra, you don't know music. You don't know music, you don't. I was in they have a boutique, chocolate boutique up here. They make chocolate. I'm not a big fan of chocolate at the end of the day unless it has nougat or freaking coconut in it. So it got something. I can't even play chocolate. But I got chocoholics that are friends of mine. And one of them was like, I gotta go to get the chocolate place and get some chocolate. I was like, okay, I'll swing along with you. I got some business run today. I gotta go see Hall and do a couple things. And sure enough, this place was amazing. But they had something there I did like. They had custom gourmet hot chocolate. I'm a big fan of hot chocolate. Gourmet. It's $20 a cup. It ain't cheap. But guess what? I heard yourself at the bomb. The bomb. Whew, $20 a cup. That's a lot of money. But anyway, I'm gonna go check it out this winter and get one of them. See what it's like. My sister was like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Don't take anything out of it. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. She had an addiction for it. Yeah, they're not cheap, but yeah, I'm gonna try. Never had a $20 cup of cocoa before. Alright, so yeah. I gotta go. I got things to do. I gotta go pick up a connect system. So we have some connects involving projector mapping, involving AI technology with interactive technology. This is going to be insane. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely insane. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, hope you enjoy this crazy demonstration. Yeah, and pretty soon that black screen paint is going to be absolutely everywhere. And we get the advertising team. That's where I push the one product I pushed to the advertising team. It's a black technology. Well, I got to make an appointment to meet it with them. See, that's what I mean at the end of the day. Between the appointments and places I got to go to and stuff I got to look at and interviews and applications I got to fill out. And on top of that, and customers I got to take and ship out and pay new clients some testing. I don't think does anyone have the time to make 25 phone calls back to back to back to back to back. Let me put it this way. We don't hear this at all. It doesn't come up on our end. The minute them 2 calls come through and they see the numbers are identical, they automatically go in and they start blocking it. We don't even pick it up on our end. They gotta screen it and send it to me first, so we don't get it. So with that being said, yeah, you wasted whatever time it took to do all that. To do it. Keep in mind, I can't explain to people, life is short. You don't get, this is all you get. This is it. This is all you're gonna get. You don't get the ability to come back. You're not gonna live to be 900 years old. You don't get any of that. Whatever time you have here, spend it doing something better than that dumb nonsense at the end of the day. I always try to make it in a day, I always try to learn something new. Always try to learn something new. So these aren't take away something from the day and say, hey, I did this today, or I learned this today, you know? Because you only get one of these, that's it. And you don't spend your time calling somebody 25 times to go nowhere. It went nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. That's the equivalent of throwing money down a dark hole. What are the benefits of that? Nothing. It's just a waste of money. You wasted your time, gentlemen. You think about the hate campaigns that you ran, the Crowcast and all that stuff. The time that you put in that ended up to what? Nothing at all. I got 3 loans for the company. I got an advertising firm, which you're going to be hiring professionally to do our business. We got so much technology we're bringing out, it's not even funny. You haven't stopped anything at all. This train's still moving. You haven't stopped anything. It's like the equivalent of how when I say train still moving, it's what I see in my head is I see them working with the devil. And I see the devil throwing things on the track, trying to take out bridges or whatever. And I see my train filled with angels. And we're traveling through. And God is leading the way. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. Whatever you try to do, we conquer, we go past, we get victory every single time. But when your train takes off, it goes right off the tracks. Every time it turns the corner, right off the tracks, right off the tracks, right off the tracks. And as you're sitting there with your train destroyed, smoking, burning, the devil's sitting right there just laughing at you. All these demons just sitting there just pointing at your train laughing. Meanwhile, wine is out in the distance, going where it needs to go. Stop following them demons. Demons will waste your time. I'm going to have a ham sandwich today. Ham sandwich. Stop wasting your time. All those campaigns. I look back, all that stuff they did. All that wasted time. All that wasted time. They've been doing something else. Doing something else. I sat there and said, look, whatchamacallit, Rogers has a nice yard out there. I had to do something with that the other day. Definitely would have did something with that. Man, I would have got myself built me a couple of birdhouses, did a YouTube channel, building birdhouses, put in closed circuit little cameras in it, record them in there eating something. People pay for them to watch that kind of stuff. I sit there and talk about watching this stuff all day long. You can start your own cat TV. See, doing something else positive. Except for your whole entire business, Rogers, was basically designed to try to take out my company. That's what your business was. To try to compete with me and take out my company. And you figured at the end of the day, a man with a little privilege at the end of the day, because I said I have a friend of mine who's a millionaire. He has a yacht, a black yacht. The thing is insane. And he said, hey, this guy considers himself to be? No. I'm going to leave that alone. But he said at the end of the day. But anyway, he owns a black yacht. That thing is insane. Would I get on it? No, I'm not a big fan of boats. But I walked around with this dock and I was like, good gracious, man. Like freaking, like, this thing is huge. It's a small city on the water. It literally is what it is. That's a chopper pad. Who freak has a chopper pad on a boat? It's blown away by stuff you see on that thing at the end of the day. But anyway, he's the one that wants me, when I get this stuff done, he wants me to put a wraparound 200-inch screen that's see-through and black on the match his yacht. But that's what he wants. But anyway, yeah, you could have did something with that time. Wasted all that time at the end of the day. You know, we don't, like I said, we don't know how much time we have on this earth. We don't know how long we're going to be here. So we could have did something with that time. I would have went out there, man. I'd have built me a whole entire freaking bird community and whatever, so I'd have cameras and stuff all installed in there. It'd have been hooked up. It'd have been like a spa for birds and stuff like that. And I put cameras in there and call it like, luxury cat TV or something like that. You could have been getting millions of followers. And you chose to waste your time doing that. You're never going to get that time back, gentlemen. You will never get that time back. That's why when I'm on here, I can come out here. When a guy called me up and said, you wasted 10 hours. Wasted 10 hours what? Have you seen the technology we engineer? I can come out here and do a demonstration and develop technology in my head at the same time. So as I'm having this conversation, I'm building this stuff in my head. I'm putting stuff together. So next time we turn around, boom, the next day, boom, we show this new screen. Like I was building the horizontal screen in my head when I was sitting there talking about Jamie basically ripping off companies. Like, oh, you wasted 10 hours. No, I didn't. I built that. I built this tower projection screen that we all watch me do all kinds of displays on and fire and rain and different special visual effects and all that stuff. And then I was outside doing demonstrations here and there. I'm always building at the same time. Always. As I said before, I can basically crush my enemies with one hand and build new technology to crush my enemies on that hand. That's what we do. Oh, by the way, while I'm having this conversation, in the back of my head, I'm actually putting the calculations together to put in an AI virtual shark that actually reacts to hand motion. That's what I do. I can work in multiple levels. So that's what I'm working on. I'm going to build me a fish tank. Yes. It's going to be a weird looking fish tank. But I want to actually display the shark. And I want the shark to interact. Like when I touch it and move the screen, I want it to move with me. So my buddy's going to come and help me with all that stuff the other day. I just got to go pick up a Connect, which 8:50. They open at 9 o'clock. Everybody needs to open up early so I can get my stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna operate this. That PC over there, for the guys out there and say, well, that PC is a work PC. It works. It makes money. That machine runs multiple websites. It has multiple servers, multiple accounts, and on top of that, it runs multiple different forms of program as considered projector mapping, interactive technology for special effects, visual effects. It also has software for the Connect system too, to be able to manipulate that hardware to make it dance for us. That's what that machine does. It's a workhorse. So that's what that baby does over there. Which I'm about to give it an upgrade, because right now it has 16 on it, but I'm going to upgrade it up to 64 because I need more space for some of the stuff I got to run. But that machine is a work machine. And this one over here is an arcade machine. This is designed to play all my retro arcade games, which I freaking love to play. That's what that's for right there. My machines, they have purpose. I don't build them for the sake of just building them because I get parts. They have purpose. They have to do things for me. I mean, for work. Some build them for the sake of just building it. All right, people. We have much to do today. We have a great journey. I have a great journey ahead of me. Much to do. Much to do. I'm building the future. That's what I'm working on. Right now, I just gave Allentown a beautiful proposal that right now that the technology we're engineering is basically going to usher Allentown to the next wave future of technology. And we got to mention 2 dates, 2026, 2028. Between 2026 and 2028, there's some technology coming out that's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. That's why we've been ordering this special equipment coming in, because we want screens that are interactive, that you can touch and move things around. They're going to be super portable. Yep. Now, will they be available online? Yeah, probably most likely yes. They will be available online. Yeah, what happened? I got a new website I'm building anyway. So the website you're seeing now, they're going to be there, but I don't know how long. We got somebody coming in. We're going with GoDaddy. I'm actually going to be building 2 different websites with them. So we're changing everything over. Then finally, we'll get a chance to show you the new logos. Because right now, we're going to change everything for the new technology. All right, people, I got to go. I got a lot of walking around to do. I'm about to listen to some Frank Sinatra. Can't get through the day without Frank. Man, I'll tell you, one of the biggest regrets I have in life, I never got a chance to watch Frank Sinatra live in concert. Never got a chance. That's some good music, man. That's real good music. Gotta go, people. Be safe out there, and God bless.